once I had my undergraduate degree, the jobs that I worked, it's like nobody cared about your college degree. They didn't care about your GPA. It's like, can you do the job? Okay, cool, you're hired. And
yeah, that's all that really matters. I never have once been asked if I have a degree for anything. I don't even know where it is. I should probably figure that out.
What's up, guys? I'm Zap. This is Jericho, and we are Band in Future, a 6-time international award-winning pop hip-hop music group. We do clean, fun music that everyone can listen to with a sound that is uniquely Californian. And right now, believe it or not, it's happening right now. You're tuned into the Life's a Circus podcast, where we talk about everything that's funny, interesting, or just kind of ridiculous. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share this video with someone who feels like college is overrated. So I was recently watching this video from this educator, speaker, or whatever, and he's talking about how to get ahead in life and build wealth and all that kind of stuff. And he kind of broke down the transition of at least American society throughout history and what it took to be successful. So for a very long time, we had the farming age, where you owned a piece of land, and if you owned land, like, you were wealthy, and if you didn't own land, then you weren't. And it was kind of just as simple as that, unless someone came and took your land over. And then we moved into like the 1800s and the Industrial Revolution, where all these different concepts of work came along, and our current school systems were initiated, because it wasn't just about working land. They had like factories now and things like that being established. So you needed to educate these people in some kind of ways to make them good workers for, these new machinery and industrial projects and things like that. And so now basically what he was saying is that we've transitioned into some different ages, and each time we transition, it kind of happens a lot faster. And so the things that we were learning in school aren't really helping us as much in the real world, because things have changed. So as kind of like a two-part question, it's like, how do you feel about college, which is, insanely expensive, puts people in crazy debt, big commotion about the student loans and all that forgiveness. And then how do you feel about that? And then how do you feel about also what jobs are going to look like, especially with the AI revolution and machines and robots replacing people? Do you need to go to school at all? Like, how are you going to figure this whole thing out?
That's complicated. I mean, speaking from my personal experience, if I had known the direction that the world was going in, I would have studied something different for sure, like without a question, because it's like you can't tell, I guess, when you're in the transitional what's going to end up happening, because I think a lot of things, they start to look like, oh, this might be the new thing. I just kind of like hinted at it, but it didn't actually take over or whatever. But I guess there's still value in college for certain things, but you do have to think more about the long-term outcome. Now, I don't know if there's any studies on like the frequency with which these transitions happen, because I would imagine that these transitions happen more often the further along in time you go. So maybe there's a big change every 50 years or 100 years, and then all of a sudden it's like for me, I think between 2000 and now it's crazy. It's like 20 years, and it's entirely different, everything. And starting around, 2015 to now, it's things are changing. So with the AI, I feel like things are just kind of accelerating more.
Well, this guy said it was like late 90s or early 2000 to 2008 He said it's like an information age. And then from 2008 to like the present is what he called a partnership age. So it's like, instead of like going to work for, say, Amazon, like you work for Amazon, you go to the factory, you clock in. It's like Amazon says, hey, you create a product and then we'll sell it. Because if you think about that, like 10, 20, you can't, I mean, even now, you can't just go to Costco and just be like, hey, put my product in here.
Sure.
Like, it's hard to get in there. But like stuff like Amazon, it's just like, yeah, make a product and we'll sell it on our platform, and that can be your job. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, there's no boss, there's no hours. You're just creating something, and then the big corporation just puts it out there. So that's what he said is like, is a part with us, music, right? Spotify. It's like, we don't have to press CDs or do anything like that. You make a song, you upload it, and it's on our platform, and that's your job. Mm-hmm. Like, we don't work for Spotify, but we work in partnership with Spotify, in partnership with YouTube, in partnership with Amazon. If you got I have a book on Amazon, right? So I'm working in partnership with Amazon, but I don't work for Amazon. So that's the age that he said that we're in right now.
That makes sense. But the AI thing seems to be. I watched a video today talking about where could AI take things in a couple of years. They're talking about like short term, by 2024 or 27, it'll be writing whole like dissertations on the level of the greatest PhD mind. All of these things that they say can be replaced by AI, and it's like it feels like no one's safe, really.
No, they're not, and that's just like basic. I mean, writing a dissertation, that's really basic stuff. Sure. I mean, with the whole like writers' strike and actors' strike and all that stuff, I mean, we're talking about like they scan you once and they can put you in any movie, any TV shows that they want to. And honestly, I've seen stuff where they don't even have to scan you. They can create realistic virtual human beings to put in any kind of like video medium. So it's stuff like that that's like, it puts a lot of people out of work.
So you're saying the writer's strike could just backfire if people go like, man, I'll just make it with AI. It'll be just as good.
I think it's gonna happen eventually. And because there's other things that are like, not only do you put in a prompt and it like makes a dissertation, but you put in a prompt, it creates the whole story, and then it creates the whole film. Like, I have this idea for Avatar, and then in a few minutes it spits out the whole movie without any actors, any cameraman, anything. Like you can make a movie in minutes and then put it out.
That's pretty crazy.
Yes, that's it's insane.
So there's no hope? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, well, the big thing is people think that like, okay, well, we're all going to lose our jobs. Well, what do we do? But I think I said this before. We talked about AI before. It's like, even though there's a bunch of jobs lost, there's a bunch of new jobs that are created.
Oh, sure.
To facilitate this new way of doing things. So, it might be something like that, but I don't think we've ever seen something that affects like literally every single industry that you can think of to have this big of a shakeup. So it's just like, I mean, if I were going to college right now, that would just change my whole. I don't even know what I would go to school for, unless it has something to do with computers or technology, or
AI creation or AI marketing or whatever it is to utilize the technology. However, you can be on the forefront of. I had a student that was in the robotics, And he would tell me stuff that was like insane. They're like, yeah, we're working on it. We can't tell anybody, but it's like, God, that'll just shake up everything. So, I don't know, but the thing that we want to believe, or that's what I hear, is that we're going to need this human something still. You got to have that human touch. You got to have customer service, for example. I don't care how many programs of, AI customer service rep can run. You've got to somehow get someone that can understand nuances and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, no, I think they're working on the nuance thing too. So, so maybe right now it's kind of like, well, I've been lost my mind trying to talk to somebody for real because the AI thing is like just taking me 20 different ways. But I think eventually they'll make it better, and then he will be out of jobs, man.
Yeah, the speed is what's throwing people off. It's like we didn't expect it to be this good this quickly.
I think it's just the tip of the iceberg too.
Yeah. But there's like, I definitely remember coming out of college and even the stuff that we recorded on, I mean, we were learning about record contracts and like all these things about CDs and these breakage rules. Because your CD gets broken, how much they charge the retailer, and all this kind of stuff that like you just don't use at all.
No relevance anymore.
And even after I finished undergrad, I was like, it's like you pay all this money to have some old guy tell you to read this book, and I was like, I could have just read that book myself.
Yeah. Well, and the big people in the world now are the people that didn't go all the way through the college program. Yeah,
that's another thing. Some of the biggest people, did not go to college or did not finish school or there's just all kind of ways. And people were asking me like, why don't you go back and because again, it's like the traditional, you're supposed to do this and you're supposed to finish high school, you can get good grades and you go to college and then get your master's. And people were asking me like, why don't you go and get your master's? And I'm just like, why? Like what?
Unless you just want it for you, like, hey, personal badge of accomplishment. Hey, I did it. Pat on the back, whatever.
Yeah, because once I had my undergraduate degree, the jobs that I worked, it's like nobody cared about your college degree. They didn't care about your GPA. It's like, can you do the job? Okay, cool, you're hired. And
yeah, that's all that really matters. I never have once been asked if I have a degree for anything. I don't even know where it is. I should probably figure that out.
Yeah, just in case. Double check and make sure you did what you said you did.
I mean, if there's have a record of it, I can just call them real quick. But yeah, sure. I need a piece of paper that says I'm smart. Yay! All right.
According to the institutionalized testing that doesn't reflect everyone's capabilities, my brother.
That just makes me want to get a bean pie. All that made me think of, I really want one right now.
You can eat a bean pie, and then you can test out your fart pad and your underwear.
I see what you did there. I like the full circleness of it.
Yeah.
I'll definitely do the first part. The bean pie idea sounds splendid.
Yeah. So yeah, that's another episode of the Lifestyle Circus podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. Let us know what you think about college. Should we still all be going to college paying $40, $50, $60, $70, $80,000 just to go to school and learn something that will not help us?
If Biden forgives all of it, maybe.
Yeah. Or should we just not go to college? Is AI going to replace all our jobs? Are we going to have jobs? Does anybody know what's happening? Should we all just study artificial intelligence and technology and just forget everything else? I don't know, man. It's so many questions. So
we're gonna do it.
We're gonna do what?
Take their jobs.
You're gonna take their job. I've been waiting for you to say it.
They took our jobs. They took our jobs.